Alright, looking at this day on December 9, we can see that price has opened here, consolidated, um, taken these lows, and did a reversal with this as expansion leg, and now we're consolidating, right? Since we're in a consolidation, we want price to give us something, an expansion that we can wait for a retracement, then place a trade to catch the expansion again, right? So right now you can see that the only expansion is this whole expansion or this small expansion right here. So we want to see price either come here, retrace here, and then maybe a bullish trade, or come here, retrace from here, and then a bullish trade, depending on how it looks, right? Or we have a reversal setup where this high and this high can technically form a reversal where we go down like this, right? So those are the possibilities right now. But this is US dollar, gold dollar. And when we look at pound, it actually is making higher highs and not lower highs, right? This is the continuation swing and this is the failure swing, right? When I did a previous video, there was a review that said first we look, we wait, price gives us expansion, so that trade idea is invalid, right? Because the low is taken out. We forward in time, we go in the 1 minute because that looks like a change in order flow, right? Because order flow is bullish, then it goes, it makes lower highs and lower lows with respecting bullish PD arrays, and then we trace all the way to there, right? So now if we look at this, we're now painting a bearish daily profile where price is going to go lower from this change in state of delivery. We want to see a retracement, right? But we can't really trade that because pound is not the one making the failure swing, it's the dollar, right? So we could just observe it and see what happens. Previously, what my idea was is take that take that high to that low, and then if we forward in time, there is a shadow sweep from this high to that high, and then shadow sweep from this high to these highs, right? And then we take a short, we aim for this 2R, bam, right? So that was my idea before, but our rule states that we can only take a short if the pound is the one that's making the failure swing, right? And here it's the dollar that's making the failure swing. So even though this is a valid trade in terms of OTE and SMT and shadow sweep, all of that, it is not a valid trade because it does break one of my rules, right? So we cannot catch that trade. Even if we did catch it with my revised, with my new confirmation of the 50%, we would have to take that high. We can't just take a random high to that low, all right? If we take that high to that low and keep the same shadow sweep, right, because it does sweep with the Canadian, right? And then we take a sweep from this high to 9 a.m. high, which is with the pound, right? If we take that high and say the pound was making the failure swing and this was the one that was making the continuation swing, then after this we wait for the price to cross 50%, right, which it does, and then there's a tap back at 9 a.m. and then price shows willingness to go lower. Take a short anywhere around here, put a stop loss there, to our right here. So that would be the trade if pound was the one making the failure swing, but as you can see, it's a dollar that's making the failure swing, right? So even though the trade would be valid with and met some criteria, it doesn't meet all the criteria, right? And now if we actually like forward this in time, price continues, right? But here's the thing, right? Price consolidates above the daily open, which also actually happens to overlap with the 50% of this dealing range. Actually, not this one, right? Which happens to overlap with that. And price shows rejection, but it could continue all the way to this golden zone. But we wait. Price shows bullish. Okay, right? Now the price has done this and its it's showing willingness to go higher. What we can do is we go on the 1 minute, and then we can see that now that we have turned bullish, right? We still haven't missed trade. This is a trade that we could have taken, but it's still a very early and risky trade, right? So now what we do is mark out the lows to the high, right? And with, let's say, 5 minute DRT, right? If we mark out this low to high, and then we take that as a shadow sweep, which does happen if you look at pound, right? Let's say we take that as a shadow sweep, right? And now that the market has turned bullish, right, because we were consolidating, we did a change in order flow, bearish, then we retraced, and then we made the move, right? But then price reached the 50% of this expansion leg with a shadow sweep, with a reversal type 2 dealing range, reversal profile here, with a displacement. Now we wait for price to give us a positive reaction from this 50 DRT, because even though this is a good move, we haven't missed anything because we can just get a pyramid entry on the second entry, right now we wait. Okay, price is retracing. And now if we look at the other pair, if we look at the pound, high to low, low to high, we can see that if the thing is, this OTE low is already SMT'd, right? So if we can draw, we can even draw this as the OTE, right? So if we draw that, we can see some retracement. Okay, we see price rejected from the 50% here of this expansion leg, which has already been SMT'd, right? So we don't need another shadow sweep. And then price crosses the 50% of this reverse as well, right? So price is rejecting from this 50 and has already crossed this 50, right? With a strong close. Now that it meets all the criteria, so we're bullish because gold pound is bullish, right? Gold pound is bullish, so we favor longs, and price reached 50% of this DRT and rejected with a shadow sweep. I don't know why there is a RSI, and then price expanded, and there's also this reversal profile. Price expanded from here, right, rejecting from the 75 and coming down below When it comes down to discount and crosses the 50, it also comes to a discount of this expansion leg, and price fails to close below it. The next candle is a positive bullish close, right? So now shadow sweep, OTE, reversal plus double plus expansion, right? So there's an expansion profile and there's a reversal profile right here, right? And every criteria you can name is met. So we take a buy here. Of course, we put our stop under this low and we aim for this high, which just happens to be 2R. Now that all the criteria have been met, all we do is wait, right? Probably, let's say 120. Right. Since this is a late entry and I could be wrong on the bias, we only risk 50%. We aim for a nice 2R. Since price is closed above the 75 DRT, I'm comfortable moving my stop probably under the 50 DRT. Yeah. Now if price closes or moves above this one, I'm taking it at break even. Taps the fair value gap, closes above that, so now I can have my stop at break even. All right. Okay, we get price hits TP, and this is a valid trade. This would be the best trade I could have taken in the day, not in this one, because pound is not the one that made the failure swing, right? So I cannot take this one. I can also really not take this one because I've already set out a rule that I can only short on days when the pound is the one that's making the failure swing, right? And I cannot long on this one, even though it does make a shadow sweep. It really does not make a clear OT, right? Because if you want to take an OT of this expansion leg, it only really reaches the 50%, right? And not the OT golden zone, right? But after price makes this expansion, it does happen to retrace below the 50% and at the OT almost tapping it by right there, right? Almost tapping it right there, and then closing above it, positive reaction. Also meanwhile with this bullish candle closing above 50, we place a trade there, stop loss under the low, right? And we just wait, and our take profit is at the 100%, which is the reversal high. So this is the market maker buy model with the shadow sweep.